Alright lads, you know what time it is. It's another Bleach Rebirth Assault Monday, and today we have Stark. So the #1 is Sparta. Leading that in the outro? On the intro? Oh, we're already resurrected? Okay. Hey, yo. Let's actually try and read what we're looking at here. So we have his signature move. So it looks like he has no special mechanic in terms of like a gauge or anything, which I'm fine with. I'm excited for Stark though, man. He's going to be a straight zoner. Look at that. And we have Shunsui without his captain coat. That was an outfit that I was hoping to see. Oh, he does the sword for the awakening? Hey, yo, that is hard. And now he's a melee character? Yo. I think everyone would have thought he would have just resurrected in the awakening, right? Oh, that is sick. Okay. Unique abilities to turn spiritual power and Kompaku into offensive power. Okay. That sounds interesting. Just from the first glance, he looked actually quite impressive. Let's rewind it and see what we have to take in here. So known as the Primera Espada, he is proud of the tremendous firepower at the command while firing Zero in rapid succession. He also can divide himself into two separate beings. And I am glad, even though in this case, right, when... you know, clearly Lily Net's not going to be playable. I am glad they included her at the very least into the intro. I think when a character has a lot to offer in terms of transformations, it's always cool seeing a cool intro. And this one's actually really cool. Seeing Lily Net there, and then we transform into his resurrected state. And then we also have a quick little basic combo. Was it Zero's always black and white? Because that's like black and white, right? And then he does like a blue attack. So signature move, Alma Karma. While holding down input, Stark will accumulate his spiritual power holding his gun at the ready. In the normal state, Stark will expend his spiritual power when activating dashing quick attack, flash attack, and special flash attack. And it's important to secure spiritual power regularly by activating this move. So if we have a look at the animation itself, it's just him charging up. Yes, obviously, this character is going to be using a lot of spiritual pressure, so this signature move, being able to, a way to gather it up, is going to be good for him to get off his maybe better attacks. If we continue playing and having a look at those special attacks, we have Zero Automatico, and if we have a closer look at what this spiritual pressure move does, so Stark steps back in a flash and fires a Zero from his gun. The number of Zeros and the damage will increase according to the amount of spiritual pressure that Stark does have. So again, very important, like, you're almost at max spiritual pressure whenever you are using these attacks. And that's going to make him somewhat unique, right? But this character is all about just spamming his Zeros, and I'm kind of here for it. Like, it looks actually kind of cool. And he does like 2 there. I think we can actually see an example of that, where like the first one is the initial Zero, but then because he held it down, he continued on the attack, and then boom, you get like 3 or 2 or 4 even Zeros come out at the same time. Going into spiritual pressure move 2, the two of us make 1. Stark's spiritual power will decrease little by little after activating until the spiritual power is decreased to 0. Stark will not expend his spiritual power when activating dashing quick attack, flash attack, and also special flash attack. So I'm reading this correctly. What this does mean is that when you use this attack, you can basically spam anything. Like, nothing will consume spiritual power. Or at least the dashing quick attack, flash attack, and special flash attack won't consume any spiritual power. But it does come with the downside that your spiritual power will constantly be going lower and lower until it hits 0. Honestly, just first impression before we even play the game, I'm not sure how good this attack will actually even be. Because right now, he only has 1 attack, which might be for the best because he's like a straight zone character. We don't have too many of those in the game. But like, I could easily see this character be super annoying if all he could do was just spam attacks and he had 2 different spiritual pressure moves that could also spam attacks. So it looks like the only attack that he does have in terms of damage is going to be his first spiritual pressure move. His second and also signature move are more so just there for you to get off those other attacks even easier. But then we get to have a look at the awakening, which is Lost Lobos. That is so cool that he turned into a melee character though. And do we actually get to see the wolves actually attack too? That'd be really sick. So Stark's performance is enhanced by releasing a Lost Lobos with Resurrection. Unlike the normal state that fights mainly at long range, Stark's fighting style changes into a close range after awakening. Stark will then be able to activate powerful attacks by using his blue flame wolf that will be stocked in exchange of his own Kompaku. Okay, that's different. Again, we don't really get to see any gameplay of that because, you know, these 1-minute trailers, but he seems to be completely different after he does awaken. And from what I'm reading here, his Kompaku will change into blue flame wolf. And for you to use that, I assume it will eat out or decrease your Kompaku, or I guess in this case, Blue Flame Wolves. So maybe you can get a powerful attack off, but it does come at the cost of you potentially losing a whole life, right? A whole HP bar. If that is the case, if that's what I'm reading, that's actually kind of cool. It's different. We've not seen that yet, so I'm super down for it. And then in terms of animations here, do we get to see anything super unique here? Just a very normal combo, but we do get to see the wolf come in, which is really cool. I mean, Stark might have already been like one of like my go-to mains, but seeing now that he actually stays in Resurrection, but then actually goes into his melee form, his dual-wield form as the Awakening, I think that's actually a lot cooler had he started out in base. I guess they could have done a reawakening where he started off in base, then resurrected, and then does this as a reawakening. That also would have been cool, but I'm kind of fine with him not being in base. I don't think it's that big of a deal, at least for me personally. But I do like that we get to see the wolf here, at least in part of the combo, right? And in terms of the animations here, do we get to notice anything? I mean, this obviously is the wolf attack. That's likely going to be his finisher. We can also see the wolves in the outro animation too, which is actually pretty cool. I like it. I must say that I'm actually very curious to see what the costumes will be for some of the Espada, because we've noticed a lot of characters, especially the captains that are throughout the entire series, right, have different outfits. You know, Shinsui likely has a captain coat, then he has what we saw today with his no captain coat, and then he also does have his kimono, right? Some of these characters are going to get quite a different bit of outfits. Some are even going to get Thousand Year Blood War, but I'm very curious to see what the Espada will have in terms of different alternative outfits, because none of them actually wear anything other than their main outfit, right? So they might just have like a different color, if anything. Either way, adding Stark onto our weekly tier list, where am I going to put him? Stark's a potential main, 100%, 100%. I'm probably going to put him right above Grimmjow. In all honesty, though, again, depending on how these characters actually play, when I get my hands on them, I might obviously have different opinions, but he's easily going to be like a top 10 character for me, a top 5 even. I'm a fan of Stark. Right now, the only way I can play with Stark is in Brave Souls, and obviously there's no really good Stark at this point. So I'm really liking the idea of having a cool Stark in this game that can go from a ranged character into a melee character and has that different mechanic, unique mechanic with the Kompaku system. Hey, let's go. He's easily going to be a top 5 character for me. Might even get higher, depending how fun he actually is when the game does release. With that said, though, in terms of what character is next, I mean, at this point, we were expecting Barugan to happen this week, right? He didn't happen. Hopefully that doesn't mean he's not in the game. I mean, the Espadas in general have been getting released out of order, so I guess we'll find out next week if Barugan is in the game. And I am still hoping that is the case, because I'm a big fan of Barugan and I want to see his form in-game, especially his resurrection form. I think it's one of the cooler resurrection forms out of all the Espada. But right now, them skipping him, you know, does bring up questions like, what's going on? Are we actually just getting him next week? That very well could be the case. Maybe because he is going to have a unique mechanic. After all, his power does, you know, kill you over time, right? Part of me wants to jump to conclusions, but again, I think it's too early to do so. I think we should just wait till next week. Hopefully, his voice actor passing away doesn't affect his role in this game. Because for those that are unaware, Barugan's VA did pass away, at least the Japanese one. Would that be a reason for him to not be in the game? I would hope not. They could just use lines from the anime after all. Is his powers the reason they haven't showcased him this week? Again, I would hope not. But likely we are going to find out next week. Because honestly, other than Dangai Ichigo, I have no other idea what character they could announce besides him and also Barugan, right? So hoping for Barugan next week. That's what I'm looking forward to see. Was hoping for Barugan this week and then therefore Stark next week. But I am glad that we got to see Stark nonetheless. Stark looks good. I think it looks pretty sick, but I'm holding out hope that we do get Barugan next week, because if we don't, that's going to be a big hit on the roster in terms of just Espada representation, because we're already missing 3 already, right? If we don't get the big 3, that's going to suck a tad bit, but we'll find out next week. I don't want to, you know, jump the gun and say he's not in the game. He should be. But either way, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Stark. I think it looks quite cool. I'm going to see you guys next time. Take care and peace.